Alex and Amira. Today we're making pierogies. The recipe link will be in the description down below. Now we're starting with 2 eggs, whole milk, sour cream, crushed salt, and some flour. First thing we do is mix this through a large bowl to make the dough. You gotta make sure you have a measuring cup. Put some milk in there. I think we did about half a cup. Pour it on in. Add the perfect amount of sour cream first. Kind of flatten it down, pour it in. Sour cream. Mix it all up. Always be looking out for cats. Try to mess with you. Warm the water. Stir, stir, stir very fast. Oh, look, a cat. What's gonna happen now? Oh, let's take the cat down.
Oh no! So here's where you add the salt, and we started out with about 2 cups of flour, and then as soon as we mixed that in, we added the other 1 3/4 cups. And you need it on, we had to add the salt here because we didn't do it earlier, but as you need it you can add more flour, but I recommend try to keep it as moist as possible because we had issues with ours drying out. Then you just let it rest for about an hour. I recommend doing this under plastic wrap as, like I said, it will keep it more moist.
Alright, now time for the second step. You need 12 ounces of Yukon Gold potatoes, or just 2 normal potatoes, kosher salt, olive oil, caraway seeds, and sauerkraut. First thing you do with those is you boil the potatoes. Have your wife fix your mistakes. Scrub the potatoes. Don't forget your potato scrubber. And you gotta cut those potatoes to any way you want. You're gonna throw these potatoes into the water just so you can mash them up a little later. So, no need to be picky. Don't forget to add salt to the water, makes it boil faster, and gives the potatoes a little saltiness. Look, the water's boiled. Make sure you don't cut your wiener here, your Polish sausage, your kielbasa. Anyways.
You could just open the package like a normal person with the peel tab. Anyways, then you want to cut your kielbasa into basically as small pieces as possible. You can use a food processor for this part, but we found it is fine if you just cut it up. Once your kielbasa is chopped up, you'll want to get 2 tablespoons of olive oil and heat it in a pan. Make sure not to burn your olive oil. And you can start sizzling your caraway seeds, and once they start to smell nice, go ahead and add the kielbasa. So once your kielbasa is browning, you can go ahead and drain your potatoes and start to mash them. So I gave this a little bit of water left in there, and you can test if they're tender by just poking them with a fork. Your next step will be to drain and measure the sauerkraut, and you can just put that straight into the potatoes. Then when your kielbasa is browned and nicely crisped, you can go ahead and put all the contents of that pan in with the potatoes and sauerkraut, mix it all together, because that'll be the filling for our pierogies.
All I'd want is you to be my sweet honeybee, and if I was a tree growing tall and green, all I'd want is you to shade me.
After your filling's done, we covered our baking pans with some plastic wrap because the pierogies are still uncooked at this point, and we don't like them sticking, so we'll put some flour down as well. After our dough's been resting for about an hour, we took it out and uncovered it. We laid down some flour because now we're going to be forming the pierogies. Now you want to cut it into 4 equal parts. I used the back of the knife because I didn't want to cut straight on the counters and put cut marks in the counters.
If you were a river in the mountains tall, the rumble of your water would be my call. If you were the winter, I'd know I'd be the snow, as long as you were with me when the cold winds blow. All I want is you, will you be my bride? Take me by the hand and stand by my side. All I want is you.
It doesn't work that well, so you kind of got to use the front of the knife and just watch the counters. Now you're going to use your rolling pin and roll out the dough. Now the dough's rolled out, you'll take your cutting device and cut round circles. This is about 3 inches, so the cup works pretty nicely. Do this 50 more times, and you got yourself some pierogies.
Once you have your dough circles, you put about a tablespoon of filling into them, pinch the edges shut, and then crimp them. And if you have trouble pinching the edges shut, if your dough's a little dry, you can just add some water with your finger around the edge. And I just use a fork to crimp the edges because I have one, but if you have a fancy crimper, go for it. Feel free to play with the dough because it's just as fun as pizza dough. Next, you're going to start some water boiling in a pan for boiling the pierogies. And I recommend starting more water boiling because it tends to evaporate quickly from the pan.
Come on, darling, won't you hypnotize me?
While that water starts boiling, go ahead and put a tablespoon of butter into another pan because pierogies are delicious since they're boiled and fried. Once your water is almost boiling, you can add some salt because flavor. And then gently lower your pierogies into the pan. Be careful not to let them stick to the bottom if you use too shallow a pan.
To think it made me free, but if letting love stay makes a man a slave, come on darling, won't you hypnotize me? Come on darling.
So once you can sort of see through them, as you can see they're translucent, make sure you flip them over so that both sides are thoroughly boiled, and then you can transfer them to your butter pan and to fry them. As I said earlier, it's a good idea to have some other boiling water on hand because it evaporates from your pan quickly. Keep an eye on the pierogies that you're frying and flip them so that both sides get nice and golden and crisped. When they're done, you can transfer them to a container or a plate. I recommend using a paper towel because they can be a little bit greasy at this point.
We looked it up online, and the internet said that caramelized onions go good with pierogies. So we caramelized some onions, and stunning reveal of our delicious pierogies. Like I said earlier in the video, we made about 50, and beautiful plating done by myself. We tasted them, they're pretty good. Some vary depending on the thickness of the dough. Some were pretty chewy from the flour, just depended on how thick it was on the outside. Pretty good overall. We enjoyed making them. Because they're about 50, they're pretty nice to warm up and have as a little snack or leftovers later in the week. Never had them before. Pretty easy, pretty fun. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope to see you next time. Let us know if you want us to make anything.